Hello. Okay. Kind of announcement. Today is March 1st. We will cover chapter 7 and you will take a quiz number 4 from chapter 5. And Wednesday, it is break day, so no class. And then next Monday, so far, a couple of students emailed me, ask me about the in-person, face-to-face class. So, still so many positive cases. Like during the weekend, less than 2,000, but during the weekdays, more than 3,000 positive cases in Pennsylvania. But anyway, let's try. It's like the same as last semester. We did like this now. Once on one class in person, face to face, and then still online and remote, the same. So next Monday, I will be in class. The classroom is LAC. It is, what is that? Liberal Arts Center, room number 114. From last semester's experience, only a couple of students came to the in-person class, face-to-face. But anyway, the classroom, LAC, 114. The capacity is only 12 seats available. So in case, and then let me check if how many students will come to the in-person face-to-face class. So if you want to come to the in-person class physically, go to Moodle. I made a reservation slot. Just a moment, we'll share. Here. So if you want to come, click this slot and then reserve your seat. So let me check how many will you will come. If you just stay online and stay remote, you don't need reserve. But then if you want, just want to come to the class physically, then reserve your seat using this. Oh, already 3 of them. Okay. So let's try, and then later, if something happen, then change. So this revised class schedule on Moodle too. So today online, no class. Next Monday, in class, remote online together. And then on Wednesday, online and remote only. And following Monday, you will take midterm or online and so on like this. So refer to this schedule, revise the schedule. Then at the time, I will post the reservation slot. Okay. Any question? Okay, good. Okay, today we will cover part of chapter 7. Service process. Last week we covered manufacturing process. First, define what is a service business service. Earlier, when we talk about operations, at that time output is tangible, then it is manufacturing. Intangible output, then it is service. But it's like vague. So like, you know, McDonald's and the retail stores, when we go buy something, the tangible goods associated with that process. But it's like this, business requires interaction with the customer to produce the service. So if there is interaction between provider and then customer, then it is service business. Manufacturing business, usually there is no interaction with the customer. Okay, first time I asked when you are in class, online, whatever, turn on camera, but the time passed, then some of you disregard that by asking. If you can, turn on your camera. Thank you. Then two types of service business, facility-based service, field-based service. Facility-based service, customer must go to the service facility. To get service, we go like in a store, we go somewhere. So that is the facility-based service. Field-based service, provider goes to customer, you know, such as vacuum service, steam vacuum. So we call and then we need a steam vacuum, then they come and then service at my home. So that is field-based service. You know, this time pandemic, we ordered online and then deliver something. It's like a, you know, facility-based service to change to field-based service. Internal service, the management of services required to support the activities of a larger organization. You know, even it is manufacturing system, internally there is service. Internally in a company, if there are many activities like this, then from suppliers, part come. So to suppliers, this company, manufacturing company, customer, and then they are provider or supplier. So this moment, there is interaction between provider and customer. So this is kind of service. And then receive part and then do something. Then send back, send it to next stage or activities. There is contact. So this one becomes provider and then customer. So they have contact, then this is service. And then in office, the document move to the next activity or stage and so on like that. Then between that activities like a financial department to a certain department and so on, supporting each other, interaction. So that case, we call that internal services. Operational classification of services, customer contact. Interaction between customer and provider. Interaction is contact. Based on the degree of contact, we can divide or classify the service. Customer contact, the physical presence of the customer in the system. Customer is involved in the process. You know, if we go on a hair shop to cut hair, then myself is kind of process. So customer involved in the process, service process. That is customer contact. High degree of customer contact and low degree of customer contact. You know, this class, the same. Online, virtually a contact, but the degree of contact, low degree of contact. If we go back to the in-person, face-to-face class, that is, there is contact, interaction with me and the student, high degree of contact, customer contact. So if degree of customer contact is high, then more difficult to control. Because there are so many different types of asking, demand. So if degree of contact is high, then more difficult to control. And then also more difficult to rationalize. And one more difficult to standardize. So if I now I use online, so just post a certain file and then you download and then use. So just one file. Then everybody can get like this. But then go back to normal, and then I should make print out and then make a copy of the lecture note and then distribute and so on like that. So anyway, high degree of customer contact, then more difficult to control, more difficult to rationalize, and then more difficult to standardize. How about low degree of customer contact? Then less difficult to control, less difficult to rationalize, less difficult to standardize. Structuring the service encounter. Here, degree of contact, low, degree of contact, high. Example, mail or online contact, low degree of contact, and then face-to-face, high degree of contact. And then based on the degree of contact, we can divide service like this. Buffered core, permeable system, and reactive system. None or a little contact, then we call buffered core. Some contact, permeable system, and much contact, such as interact, face-to-face class, face-to-face service, the reactive system. So like this, buffered core, permeable, and reactive system. How about sales opportunity? If more contact, high degree of contact, the greater the amount of contact, the greater the sales opportunity. So many marketing companies try to contact you using email, phone call, and so on. Maybe they send you a mail too. Try to contact more you and then increase sales opportunity. And production efficiency. The greater the amount of contact, more contact, then the lower the production efficiency. Because more contact, high degree of contact, then difficult to standardize, difficult to control, difficult to rationalize. So production efficiency drop or lower. Designing service organization. Service. Naturally, we cannot inventory service. When we need service, then provide. We cannot like reserve somewhere and then later use the service like this. You know, recently, now vaccine, the coronavirus vaccine rollout. So reservation. I like next like tomorrow. Then you know because of weather condition, I cannot get the service. Then the reservation cancel, and then another reservation I need appointment. So like that. So capacity of service is important. And then we should decide what capacity should we aim for. So decide the capacity of the service. That is important. We will talk about that using waiting line models. The later part of this chapter 7 is waiting line models and queuing system. Talk about that later. Then service strategy, treatment of the customer. It's kind of quality of customer service. Of course, make it better service quality, so better. Speed and convenience of service delivery. Of course, faster. Price, lower and or cheaper. Quality of tangible goods associated with that service, of course, better. So, service strategy or manufacturing or production strategy, the same. Make it better, cheaper, faster in operations management. 3, contrasting service design. The production line approach, even it is service business such as McDonald's, because McDonald's produce food such as hamburger, French fry, sandwich, drink, and so on. So use manufacturing process and then focus on things. So even it is service business, they use production line approach. The self-service approach, such as using automatic teller machine. Using automatic machine, the service system can lower cost, especially labor cost. So substitute labor with machine. So using self-service approach or automatic machine, the company can lower cost, labor cost. And then the personal attention approach. Ritz-Carlton Hotel started this approach. Once we stay at a hotel, then we leave our information, such as birth date and email address and so on like that. They track your customers' preference. So like using a customer guest history information system, track your birth date, and then send something coupon and so on. So try to reproduce the sales. Okay, waiting line model queuing system. Waiting line situation is a trade-off decision. So this trade-off between more service against the inherent cost of waiting. So between service cost and waiting line, we should make balance. If there are 10 service stations like this, 10, then each service station capacity is 10 per hour. So times 10 service stations, capacity is now 100. Customer size is like 200, then waiting line long. So this case, waiting time or waiting cost increase. So increase the number of service stations, then service cost increase. So to find balance based on capacity of each or the total service system and then customer size. So using this waiting line model or queuing system, we can determine the optimal size of a service system. The queuing system consists of three parts: customer arrival, system itself, and then exit. The source of population, and the serving system, and the exiting system. Customer arrivals, source of arrival, the pattern of arrival, finite population, limited size of customer, infinite population, no limit or large enough size. You know how many population of Scranton? Do you know? As long as I know, about 70,000. What do you think? 70,000. Finite population or infinite population? Anybody?
Finite.
Finite? The answer is yes and wrong. Because depending on, it can be finite, it can be infinite. Based on, before we say the service systems or certain systems capacity. If a service system handle one customer per day, to handle all 70,000, it will take 70,000 days. So 70,000 is large enough to that system, then 70,000 is infinite. How about a computer system? In 1 second, 100,000 population data process. 70,000 is small enough, limited size. So that case, for that system, 70,000 is finite population. So it is based on service system. Anyway, Dylan, thank you for your answer. Distribution of arrivals. We first know arrival rate. When we say arrival rate and then later the service rate, when we say arrival rate or service rate, that is the number of units per period. To a certain store, 100 customers come to that store per hour. So that case, 100. The number of customer per hour is arrival rate. And then follow that arrival by the constant arrival distribution or random arrival distribution. Constant. If the arrival rate is the same every time, 100, first hour, second hour, 100, 100, 100, 100, the size of customer arrival rate is the same, then it is constant. But usually most case, customer arrival distribution is variable or random. Usually exponential distribution or Poisson distribution. Customer arrival in queue distribution we already covered, constant or random. And then pattern, controllable, uncontrollable. If we can control using whatever method, customer size, then the customer's arrival is controllable. If we cannot, uncontrollable, but usually in real world, customer arrival pattern is uncontrollable. Then size of arrival, sometimes one by one, and then sometimes batch by batch, 100, 100, and so on. Degree of patient, even the waiting line is long, we need the service. So wait and then get the service. But impatient, arrive, view, long, then just leave. Maybe arrive, even it is long, but wait some time, but later just leave like this. And then queuing system itself factors length of queue, infinite potential length, limited line capacity. You know, basically, the potential length of queue waiting line is infinite, but this case, traffic system. Intersection. Cars wait here when light is red. Then change that light to green. Cars has this intersection, and then stop here when it's red. Even it is green light, if it is red, stop here, and then if this capacity of waiting line for this traffic system only 4 cars, then supposed to be only 4 cars stop here, and then make the space, and then even it is green, cars stop here like this. So for this traffic system, this intersection waiting line is limited like this. So, but other case, most case, waiting line, length of a waiting line is infinite. And number of lines, you know, single line and then multiple line. McDonald's, I don't know if you realize that, McDonald's and Burger King. When you go McDonald's and Burger King, they use different number of lines, queues. McDonald's, other station, if they open multiple, then form multiple waiting lines. But Burger King, they open multiple, then, but make one line here and then distribute like this. So McDonald's use multiple lines. Burger King use single line, single waiting line, and then when it's open, just distribute like this. You know, our bathroom, the public bathroom system using this single line, but some country use multiple line even in a bathroom, the restroom. Q discipline. Later we will talk about the scheduling later, then more in detail. But if there are many customers, then many cases use first come first serve, FCFS, whoever come first and give service first. And shortest processing time, if there are multiple activities or multiple works among them, the shortest processing time service first and second and so on. And reservation first, whoever has reservation or appointment, then give service first. You know what, reservation and appointment. What's different between reservation and appointment? Do you know why we use appointment, why we use reservation when we call to reserve a certain service? You know, if I want to see a doctor, then call doctor's office, and then I ask, can I ask an appointment? If I go if I need a computer lab, then I call an IT service, and then I ask like can I reserve a certain room tomorrow, like this. So use an appointment and then a reservation. No one? When we reserve person, like a doctor, person's time. When you when you need me, you reserve my time, right? Then we say make an appointment. If we reserve place, physical place, like an airline seat, that is now reserved seat, place, then we use reservation. So anyway, whoever appointment or reservation give that service first, and then emergency, whoever urgent give that more, like a more blood, less blood, maybe more blood and emergency first. And the limited, like whoever has, you know, a ticket. So 100 ticket holders, give them service like that. And then service time distribution, the same as arrival. Constant service time. If service time is the same every time, then constant. And random service. If the service time is different, then followed by this exponential distribution. line structure, single line, and then single phase and multiple phase. You know, you may remember single phase, multiple phase, order, just take out, order, single, eating, dining, order, activity, and then eating activity, multiple phase. And then multiple lines such as McDonald's, single phase and multiple phase. And then mix it, multi to single. You know, like in the construction part, in the highway, 3 lanes, but construction, and then it goes to only 1 lane, like that. And then alternative, last time we talked about the kind of layout, process, production process, station type, different passes for each customers, alternative. Exit line structure, usually single channel, just only 1 exit, and then done, single phase. And then sometimes the customer come back to for reservice, but with low probability. Waiting line models. There are more than 4 models, but our textbook introduced basic 4 models. So based on other factors are the same. By layout, if the single channel or multiple channel, so waiting line, the number of waiting line. If multiple waiting lines, then use model 3. All are the same, then model 1. Service pattern is, if service pattern is constant, then use model 2. And then if source of population is finite, then use model 4 like this. Okay, stop here. And then Wednesday, no class. Then following week, we will continue this waiting line models. Okay, just a moment. I will check who is in, who is not first, and then I will send you quiz number 4 as usual. Just a moment. Okay, 28 for miss. Is Eric there? Eric Stewart? No. Got it. Okay, I emailed you. Check your email. Find quiz number 4 question. And then, as usual, when you finish, upload your file on Moodle.